Hey everyone, it's Danielle, welcoming you back to another CaliFaces video. Melanie Williams became involved in prostitution while she was still a teenager. But unlike many in the profession, Melanie never tried to hide it. Promoting herself as Pretty Hoe on social media, she quickly gained a following as large as some celebrities. But her fame would lead her from a life of prostitution into a life of pimping. Melanie Williams was born in 1995 in Los Angeles, California. A troubled home life would result in her becoming a teenage prostitute. But while many prostitutes were walking the streets to make money, Melanie Williams knew that in the age of online social media, there was another way. So in 2016, she branded herself Pretty Hoe and built up an online fan base using Snapchat and Instagram. Her online presence grew rapidly, gaining massive amounts of followers almost overnight. Melanie Williams drew people in with her sexualized videos and unapologetic personality. Her content ranged from twerking videos to videos of her fighting and engaged in violence. And she didn't hide the fact that she made money spending her time with men. In 2017, she was arrested for prostitution and shared the experience with her online followers. This only brought in more followers, but it also brought in some hate. Receiving a backlash of comments criticizing her lifestyle, Melanie changed her profile title from Pretty Hoe to the most hated hoe in LA. A move that would later lead to her undoing. But while many only saw the wild persona Melanie cultivated online, there were glimpses of another side. Those who knew her personally described her as being polite and considerate, and a good mother to her young child. But much of that was overshadowed by her public image. Following her prostitution arrest and 3-month jail sentence, Melanie's online fans believed the experience might serve as a wake-up call, and the comments poured in calling for her to make a change. And for a while after the arrest, Melanie did attempt to leave the life behind. She showed interest in going legit and began to recognize the opportunity she had to turn her online celebrity status into a legitimate business. She started hosting club events in Southern California and selling t-shirts to her fans. And for a brief moment, it seemed Melanie might successfully leave her previous lifestyle behind. But despite her opportunities, the allure of quick money and power proved irresistible, leading Melanie back into the life she had attempted to leave behind. Instead of continuing on a path towards a legitimate business, Melanie made a crucial decision to transition from a prostitute to a pimp. What followed was a pattern of escalating violence. To maintain her control as a pimp, Melanie forced one woman to remove all her clothes before dousing her with bleach and beating her with a broomstick. Court documents revealed that Melanie also forced another woman to tattoo the name Melanie on both her face and wrist. But equally surprising is Melanie's use of social media to document all her activities, posting videos of herself fighting and threatening women online with firearms. Melanie's online presence became increasingly erratic, mixing displays of violence with posts of her bragging about her lifestyle and invincibility. In one post, she declared, "I'm not scared of jail, so stop telling me about the police." The platforms that had initially brought her fame now created an indisputable record of her crimes. Her digital trail would ultimately provide law enforcement with all the evidence needed to prove her illegal activities. On Christmas Eve, 2017, Melanie Williams was arrested and charged with sex trafficking. The prosecution described Melanie as a prolific pimp who recruited victims via her celebrity status on social media, and then forced them to engage in prostitution while she retained the profits. Melanie's attorney stated that Melanie was a victim of human trafficking and intellectually disabled. In 2019, 24-year-old Melanie Williams pleaded guilty to 1 count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. After her sentencing, Melanie wrote a statement and thanked the government for removing her from an awful lifestyle. And she wrote that she was profoundly sorry for the pain and trauma suffered by the victims. Upon her release from prison, Melanie promised to turn her life around, live in a better, more positive way, and leave the life behind.